So in the nested queries, we have one more concept, that is correlated queries. Already you know what is the nested queries. What is the nested query? A query within a query is called as a nested query. So the outer query is nothing but the main query and the inner query is subquery. What will happen in the nested query is, actually the inner query will be gets executed, that result will be sent to the main query. Okay, based on the result of the subquery, the main query will be gets executed. So we can say that the outer query is driven by the inner query. So that is what here nested subqueries or nested queries. Okay, but coming to the correlated queries, okay, there is a small difference. Actually, what will happen in the nested queries is, listen carefully, otherwise you will get confused. Okay, so the inner query, it will execute, it will check the condition on some specific attribute. Okay, and that means it just gives us the values of the columns. It will not just think about the rows. Okay, see, whatever the query that you have executed in the last class, you can observe if you want. Okay, check, go through the queries. So, and you can observe that all the queries. In that, the inner query, it will be gets executed on one particular column. So that result will be sent back to the main query. So again it is going to gives us the result of the some SID values or SNAME like that. But coming to the correlated queries, what will happen is, it will just take at first the outer query. Suppose you wrote like select SNAMEs from the student table. Okay, in the main as a main query, and if you wrote something in the inner query, what it will do is, it will just select all each and every row's SNAME, and then after selecting the first row SNAME value, it will just whether particular SNAME is as a result in the subquery or not. If it is there, then we'll get the output. Okay, so like that, the correlated queries will be gets executed. See here. Suppose, see, in the question paper, they will ask, okay, if they ask you to write a subquery, okay, they will ask you to write whether, whatever it is. They only will mention whether it's a correlated query or a nested query. Okay, so based on it, we have to write. Otherwise, see, for the nested subqueries, this exists operator is not needed because it just works on the inner query at first. Wait a minute. So you can observe here, sorry for the inconvenience, and see in the questionnaire only they will ask you to write. Then how it will work? It will see here. And after it will just check whether this particular value is existing as a result in the inner query. So it was existing, then we'll get the output that as name as an output. So like that, the correlated queries will work. Okay. So here we have in the correlated nested queries, we have like exists operator, any operator, or all operator. Okay, you can do the execution. I think I have uploaded correlated queries notes in Moodle. Students, have you checked in the Moodle portal? What you will do is you just download it and at least execute the exist operator with using the exist operator. Try to execute that particular query. I have already wrote the syntax here. But what the thing is, whatever the table name that you are going to specify here, that table must exist in your database. Otherwise, it won't work. And don't get confusion about the nested subqueries and the correlated queries. Okay, and that is what exists operator. And if you want, you can go with the any operator. Here I have mentioned here the theory also. If you execute, then you can be able to like get to know the difference of the output of if we use the exist operator, what will be the output, and if we use the any operator, what will be the output. So at least among any or all, at least execute one of the operator. Okay, but I request everybody to execute the first query using the exist operator. Students, today I will ask everybody to share their screen. I'll ask randomly some persons to share their screen. Okay, today I'll give the assessment marks 10 on 10 if you show your screen, because I am going to tell you about the PL also. That is very much important concept. If we finish this, then we can say that the first chapter of the third module will be get finished. Only the joins, SQL joins is left, that I will tell you. Today you have to finish correlated queries, joins, and then I will tell you about the PL. Radha, understand the concept about correlated queries? Abhishek? Say yes or no, or ping me through chat box. Okay, good. This is the I can say this is the advanced topic of nested subqueries. Okay, it is, or we can say it's a part of the nested subqueries. What will happen here is suppose, see here, this is the example query, right? Write a query to select the names of the students who have registered for the course Dbms. So what here is actually nested queries la ankondi. At first we'll just get the uh, student who have registered for the DBMS, and that result will pass to the main query. But coming to the correlated queries, what will happen here is it will just take actually the student name, that attribute